Las Meninas, presented by Diego Delgado.
And Angelina Huang.
Today we're at El Museo del Prado.
It's kind of cold.
We are looking at Las Meninas by Diego Velázquez, made with oil on canvas in 1656.
1656. Doesn't that mean it was painted during the Spanish Golden Age? That's the time when the Habsburg Empire was facing decline.
Yes, Diego Velázquez was the leading artist of the Spanish Golden Age of the 17th century. As the chief court painter to King Philip IV, he was commissioned to paint many portraits of the Spanish aristocracy.
The painting depicts a large room in the Royal Alcazar of Madrid, Spain. There are several figures in the painting, most notably Infanta Margarita Teresa, who is the daughter of King Philip IV of Spain. King Philip IV of Spain was the patron of this painting.
An interesting fact is that Velázquez boldly included himself in the painting on the far left-hand side, standing brush in hand in front of a large canvas. His inclusion amongst royalty embodies his accomplishments as an artist. At the time he created Las Meninas, he had been a painter for the royal household for roughly 33 years.
Diego, if you look in the mirror in the background, you can see the reflections of King Philip IV and Queen Mariana.
This is a very sophisticated composition with 9 people, a dog, mirror reflections of the king and queen, paintings of the wall, etc. Yet there is a sense of organization and cohesion across it all.
As for the focal point, it appears to be the young girl Infanta Margarita Teresa. She is illuminated as she faces toward the main light source on the right-hand side of the painting, while most of the other figures are facing away from the light source.
On the other hand, on the other right-hand side of the painting, notice how most of the people and the dog are facing inwards. Infanta Margaret Teresa is the first to break this theme, creating a point of conflict or impact.
Yes, Diego, composition is all about creating a sense of flow or expectancy, then making powerful statements by breaking it.
This painting features several frames. The frames provide a strong linear and geometric theme to the painting. You get a feel of structure and organization. There is a strong value of there is the, there is a strong value contrast between the lights and darks. As mentioned earlier, light seems to dictate your attention in the painting. Where the light goes, your eyes follow. In general, the colors are restrained, featuring mostly grays, browns, blacks, and other weak colors. But there are several vivid red accents scattered throughout the painting. These small bursts of color help draw your eyes around the painting towards the key points of interest.
In the background, you can see a man in the open doorway coming or going. This is a small but powerful area with a striking contrast between one of the lightest values next to one of the darkest values. Refer to the use of hard edges in the area creates even more impact. Also notice how in isolation the focal point, which is the man, is dark and the background is light. This goes against the overarching theme of the painting as a whole, being a dark background with light focal points. This creates a clever and subtle point of contrast. This reminds me of a less extreme version of the chiaroscuro technique used by the old masters.
The painting looks to have been done a la prima, which typically involves completing a painting within a single session whilst the painting is wet.
From a big picture standpoint, the painting is beautifully rendered to a fine and delicate finish, but as you look closer, you can see the confidence and looseness of his strokes.
If you look closely at the delicate dresses and vivid red accents, notice the glimmering headlights and deep black outlines. I get the sense of Velázquez blocked in the general colors and forms, then went over the top with an illustrator-like details.
Close examination of his painting reveals that it does not seem to follow the traditional rules of perspective. Of the 9 figures depicted, 5 are looking directly out at the viewer. Art historians have suggested that the image of the king and queen is a reflection from Velázquez's canvas.
This seems to be a scene of juxtaposition whereby Velázquez's actual subject is not that in which their daughter watches, but that of the royal couple.
Las Meninas explores the theme of gaze, the role of the artist, and the blurring of reality and illusion.
It also touches upon a courtly life and the artist's own evaluation within that court. The painting is a complex one, capturing a moment of the royal Spanish court.
Las Meninas explores themes of the nature of representation, the role of the artist, and the relationship between reality and illusion. Thank you, Diego, for coming to me to the museum today.